My name is Ezzy. I'm from Australia. This is my first year playing in Europe, first year overseas. And a fun fact about myself is that I was born in New Zealand. So my parents are Nigerian, so born in Nigeria and migrated to New Zealand and had my siblings and I. And when I was 5, I moved to Australia, to Melbourne, Australia. So pretty much grew up in Melbourne. I don't remember too much of New Zealand, but yeah, that's kind of how I ended up as a Nigerian Australian, but born in New Zealand. I started playing basketball when I was 7 or 8. I started playing for a local team, so the Northern Rebels, which is located in Coburg in Melbourne. So my older sibling started playing. My sister had a singing coach at school who owned a domestic club, and so that's how she got into it, and I followed my older siblings and yeah, just stuck with it ever since. I played soccer, so soccer was actually my first sport. I played it in New Zealand when I was very young, like 4, almost 5. So I don't remember too much of it. I did tennis for a little bit, but yeah, just chose basketball. I did like sports throughout high school, throughout primary school, so always a sporty kid, but just played basketball.
In what ways is Australian basketball different than like any other part of the world?
I think it's a growing league. I definitely think, you know, the WNBL has actually been around for 41 years now, I think. So, you know, it's been around, but I think it's getting more and more exposure now, which is exciting. I think we're getting more foreigners playing overseas. I'd say the biggest difference is, honestly, it's a shorter season. You're playing in the summer, which is nice. I think that's very kind of enticing to foreigners that want to go over there. But like I said, I think it's a growing league. It's definitely getting more physical, more talent is being attracted to Australia. WNBA is definitely different to the WNBL. I think, you know, obviously a lot of similarities. My first year was actually in the bubble, so that was the COVID year. So I didn't actually get to have a normal WNBA season until my second season, but yeah, I played for Seattle and loved it there. I really enjoyed the team. We had a great group on and off the court. You know, from coaching staff to players. So I was really, really grateful for that experience, and I was able to, you know, kind of learn from more experienced players and obviously have a different role as the years went on. But yeah, I love playing in Seattle.
What do you consider your biggest success in basketball so far?
I think definitely becoming an Olympian. It's definitely something I wanted to do ever since I became serious about basketball. So, you know, obviously the Olympics didn't happen in 2020, so it happened 2 years ago now. It's 2023 now. So 2021, and I think just being able to, you know, say that you're an Olympian of the sport that you love, of basketball, and, you know, representing your country, I think it's something pretty special. What
experience do you have with the national team?
This will be my 5th year with the national team, so my first year was 2018, so I represented Australia at the Commonwealth Games, so that was my first major tournament. So yeah, 5 years seems like a long time. I'm still one of the youngest on the team, but I think, you know, obviously we've got a big couple of years coming up with the next Olympics in Paris, so just preparing for that and doing what I can to make that team and just getting better. I think, you know, obviously with national teams you're not with each other all the time, so I think a lot of it is on you to kind of, you know, just work on things that, you know, your coach requires of you or your teammates require of you. So I think it's just getting better every year and, yeah, just hopefully representing Australia again. I always knew I wanted to play in Europe. The last 2-3 years it was definitely something I was thinking about, and obviously last WNBL season I played for the Boomers and we won the championship, and I think that was a point where I was like, you know, it's kind of time to move on now and take the next step in my career, and that was playing in Europe. So you know, my agent just got in touch with you know, contacts here in Europe and kind of said that I wanted to go to Europe to play for my first season, and yeah, got an offer from Chopron, and obviously they were the reigning champs, and I had heard a lot about the team through Gabby and Bree, who played here in previous years, and I played with them in Seattle. So I just thought it was a good fit for me, and it definitely turned out to be that in my first season here in Europe.
It's good to hear. What are your goals with Chopron this season?
obviously to win a championship. I think we're just getting better and better every game. I think, you know, the shot run team, we, you know, kind of show that fight, and I think that's something that you definitely need in EuroLeague, you know, coming up against talented teams, you know, physical teams. I think you just have to show that, you know, you are a team and you do stick together and you can kind of get through anything. So I think that's exciting. We definitely have each other's backs on the court, off the court, and yeah, I'm excited for the rest of the season.
Who is Ezi Magbegor off the court?
Ezi off the court, I think, you know, I'm a big introvert, I'd say. So I definitely like, you know, just downtime. I think my first, obviously in Europe you kind of do 2 a day, so I think just enjoying downtime. I think Sopron is a nice small city, so there's lots to kind of explore, walk around. I think with the time difference too, it's kind of prime time to talk to my family and friends when we finish the first practice. So I think that's something that I, you know, try and do, just stay in contact with family and friends. But yeah.
All right, do you have a message for the fans?
Thank you so much for what you've done so far in the season. You guys show up, win or loss, which we really, really appreciate, and we hear you all the time. I think as the season goes on, you'll, you know, kind of grow in that. So just thank you for showing up each game, and even on the road too. You know, some of them travel with us. So thank you guys. Thank you, fans.